Hi Jackie, it's Angela Murphy. Today I have, let's see, what's his name again? I forgot. George with me. George is a long hair. I also have Sadie in the background there. You'll probably hear her meowing. They're both in for lion cuts. I'm going to do a lion on George and then the bath. But first I'm going to start with, let's see, I think doing the how to get a cat that's bolted once I get zipped up here. So this is my cat that's gonna bolt. So I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, but we'll pretend he bolted down to there. That's my cat. And I am going to go behind and towel. That's how I usually do it anyway. And then I will scruff and grab Kitty back up onto the table like that. That's how I would generally catch a cat that's bolted. I'm not sure if it's cracked or not, but okay. So George is in a carrier with all of these little things that are hooked. I'm going to see if he'll come out for me first. George. Are we too big in there too, George? Hi, buddy. Yep, you're too big. I'm going to take his cage apart. You can come a little closer if you want. Bear with me while I get like these dozen things off of here. They'll come. George doesn't want to come out today for me. Can you tell if is recording voice or? Yeah, okay. For a second, this will make it faster. There we go. Little nuts. George is usually a really good boy. I haven't done him. I think it's been about, I'm gonna say a year, maybe 9 months since he's been in, so I think he's in pretty matted condition today. So I should be able to show how to use all the tools on him and stuff. I think. Once I get all these, hi buddy, where are we at? Of course, it couldn't be a crate that clipped off today. Make it a little easier on us, but. Almost done now. Got one more left there. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Small it. Finally. Okay. Let's get you. Here. Throw these back on. George, you're kind of big in there. This is generally get George out. Hi, George. What's Sadie doing? Is Sadie crying? Yes, is he crying? I know. My hair. Put this back on the rack. Okay, my big man. Let's get you over here, sweetheart. Normally I just keep the crate nice and close in case I have to put him back in there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to demonstrate is doing, I guess, the long hair things. A little closer. You can put that on Zoom, I guess, on 2. So this is George. Let's see, George. So So I usually start going through them first. He's not getting a full comb out because he's pretty matted underneath. He's got some big chunks. But I would normally go through. So make a line, comb up, comb down, get nice and close up. Comb, line, comb, and just like that as I go. That's usually how I do my comb outs for my long hair that aren't getting a shave. So that's just on his mane here, which has got to be done anyway before I start shaving him. Good boy. And he's usually a pretty good temperament, so. Okay, buddy, let's see. And I can't do the line comb on his legs because he's too matted on his legs. Got nice and close for this one. So just take up a little bit at a time. So it's all done here, and he's got some awful mats in here, so I'm actually gonna get this one out. First I'll usually try to pick it out. That's a good clump right here. So first I'll usually try to pick it with the comb. This one's not moving very well for me. It's in his mane. So we can pick with my, sometimes I'll pick with my fingers or give it a little hit with this guy here, the slicker brush. Slicker brush is actually pulling them out a little bit today, so that's good. So it's not too tight. So I'm just gonna recheck him there. And that actually came out pretty well. Behind his ear here. He's got a lot of fluff on him today. Yep, so that one's out pretty good there. So he doesn't have any other ones in his mane, but I'm just gonna kind of show you how I would normally use my, if it didn't come out with my comb and my slicker brush and by picking it out, I'd use this guy. This is my Safari mat breaker, and I'm gonna pretend that this is the mat right here, and I'll usually hook my comb under it first if I can, and just to make sure it's loose enough, and I'll get my mat breaker underneath, and I just kind of go back and forth until the mat comes out, and it'll usually come out on top of here. So I kind of use that sometimes just to break some of this up as well, because he's pretty thick through here today. He's actually got a nice one right here. That's gonna definitely need, actually that one's probably gonna have to be shaved. That's right to the skin, that one. And I can usually tell if they're right on the skin if my comb won't go under them, so that one's too tight. I don't usually feel safe using the mat splitter on ones that are too tight to the skin. So that's there. The other thing that I was going to show was, what was it? Bear with me, I'm not very good at videos. So my slicker, be the same kind of thing. We'll pretend he's not matted for a minute because he's super matted. So same with line combing with my slicker. Start at the low point. I guess we'll just pretend we're starting because he's all matted here. We're starting at the low point here. Hi George. There we go. And we're just gonna, and then we're gonna pull a little bit more down and keep at her until we work up to the top. And then I usually go through it quite a few times. Same thing, line at a time. Nice and gentle for him because he's a good boy, but he still doesn't like me pulling too much on his tangles. So that's mainly how I do a line comb on him. Now for his little butt end, don't usually need to comb him, but we're gonna see how he does throughout. He's usually a pretty good boy, but he's got some nice, he's pretty thick with his mats back here. So his legs are here. It would be the same for his legs if I was line combing. I start right at the very bottom and I literally comb a bit down, make a line, comb down, and same thing all the way down his legs. And same with my brush. He's pretty matted, so. Now I'm going to actually start with his nails and get into his line shave before he gets too mad at me picking at him. So first thing I'm gonna do is his nails here. So he's got some nice, you get nice close there, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
He's got some nice things on here. Hi, George. Ooh. And this one he was chewing on, it looks like. And this one's got something on it. I'm not sure what this is. But it's off now. Piece of rubber. Boy, George. Let's see, what are you doing over there, huh? Sugar girl over there. You got a lot of fur, baby boy. So that's his fronts. And then George is pretty chill, so I usually do his backs too. Nice and close here. Thank you. And I just take the tips off of them for George. His nails don't grow super fast. Okay, there we go. And his back legs. So I'll usually pull him closer to me like this. And then he's hiding his foot, of course, but and then I just kind of lean over and get these guys here. He's got actually some good length on these back ones today, but it's been quite a while. There you go. So that's his nails. Next thing I'm gonna do is turn my heat off. I'm cooking. Still back to there, buddy. Okay. So next thing I'm gonna do is his pads, because his pads have a lot of fur on them. It's been a while since he's been in, so I'm gonna make sure he's okay with my shaver today. Yeah, he's not too bad. So first thing I'm gonna do is shave his front pads and just get all this stuff off because he's got quite some long fur on them. I know, buddy. I know. I'll just nick some of this off. That's it for his pads because he's I don't go in between them unless they've got cat litter or anything in them, so which his don't. His are pretty clean there. He's got ticklish toes. Doesn't like me acting too much. Okay, George. He's doing a little kick for me here today, but a little bit of stuff in this one here we're gonna get out. There we go. Okay, that's that. And then I'll give him a little spin. Spin the George. And this one he's gonna get underneath here. Just gonna get some of the extra fluff off there so he can move around. Good boy. And find this one because it's hiding. He's a good boy. What are we saying, George? He's trying to escape on me today. I know. Yeah, we're not really having that one, are we? Okay, you're good. Good boy. There we go. So that's it for my pads. I use a 30 blade for the pads. I find it a lot quicker than using a 10, and it works a lot better. Catches the fur better too. So I'm gonna get him ready for his lion. I'm gonna use a 10 for his lion. And make sure I have everything. So with George, I'm actually going to go a little higher today because he's got some pretty bad mats. So I'm going to actually nick those out first. The ones behind his ear. And if he starts getting sassy, I'll put his e-collar on. I usually use e-collars here. So. And George likes to hide. So I'm just going to make the line where I'm going to start him where he's got quite a bit of matting going on today. It's been a long time since he was in, so I'm going to start George right about here. He'll stay nice and still for me today, I doubt it though. And I don't reverse shave on him. I did one time, I didn't like the finish of it on him with his skin, so I just always go with the grain for him. So I'm going to start him here now. You got to be right on me here, Rob. I'm shaving here. He's a big guy, but he also got a lot of fur. Oh, George, we got all kinds of mats going today, don't we, buddy? Can't really see where we're going here with the matting and the fur, but try to get it so you can see what we're doing here. Good boy. You see him, bud? Good boy. Do you want to come on this side of me? There you go. Are they itchy? Are they itchy mats? So as I'm going here now, I got his back off. He's gonna hold his skin kind of tight as I go here because he's got someone's pretty close to the skin inside. Are they itchy, buddy? Huh? Are they itchy? Yeah. Be on his side here as far as I can get usually without moving them. That's usually when he'll start getting cranky with me. I usually wait till after the bath to comb out his head and stuff really good. Of course, I'll do his mane underneath before he gets in the tub too. Just to make sure there's no mats left in it or anything. Just hold my skin as I go. Make sure you're getting where I'm shaving that up. Off of there, it's pretty thick. So he's got some real tight ones on the side here, so I'm just going to be nice and slow here. Especially right here. Good boy. Good boy. It's actually his armpit. It's pretty tight there. Good boy. Good boy. There we go. I'm just going to check my blade. My blade's starting to get a little warm, so I'm going to pop that one off and put a new one on. You okay, buddy? Mr. Giorgio's looking to escape here, so... Okay, George. Good boy. Just going to continue along. I usually just kind of let them, I do what they let me do at the time and move around if they need to. A little bit anyway. Get the job done. John, Sadie. Spread this out a little bit while I get around here because he's got lots of folds. It's not overweight or anything, he's just got lots of skin folds here. Good size, George. Okay, so that's pretty much as far as I'll get on that one side. And they're all still attached to him. He's pretty bad today. The same here. I'm just gonna go on with the growth here. Nope. You can probably stay over there. It would work better, probably, I think. Just gonna try to get around his underarms here. Well, not underarms, the sides too. I know, it's itchy. Yeah, it's itchy. Are you getting out there? Yep. We've never taped anything we have never taped anything before, so it's me and my boyfriend, fiance, whichever, doing it. So if it turns out horrible, please let me know, and we'll do another one. So he's got some pretty pingy skin here. It's pulling down, so I'm gonna really hold this up and go away from the skin first to get the weight of the mat off. See, it's pulling down right there. It's pretty thin. I'm just gonna go into the mat instead until the weight's off of that piece of skin there. And that's pretty good there. Go nice and slow around here. Just try to get some of this off. You're a pretty matty guy today, aren't you, buddy? Are you scared? Are you scared today? Okay. So I just get as far as I can reach, and then I start moving them around. So I'm just gonna grab my my toothbrush that I used here to clean out my pins here, and we're going to get rid of some of this stuff here. So, okay. Now I'm going to try to get his underarms. I'm just going to see how he is with me today for his underarms. He used to let me pick up his legs and everything, but it's been a long time, so might be a little crankier with me today. No, he's pretty good so far. So they're pretty matted under here. I usually just do as far as I can get and watch this little flap here. It's pretty, yeah, I know, buddy. So that's all I do for the underarm first. And then I'm going to get the other one. Spin the kitty time. I'm going to actually tidy this up here first before we start. Into there. Try not to have my arms in the way. Okay. And the same thing here. I'm just going to get underneath his arm here if he'll let me. He's saying no way, groomer lady. Got quite a lot of matting on this side too, so pretty itchy. There we go, buddy. Get some of that off him. So it's just his, I don't want to get that little thing there, so I'm going to pull him up there. Okay. That's it for that. Now, after I get his underarms, I usually move to his back side here, or do underneath. So let's see what we're going to do first. I think I'm going to pick him up and do his underneath first. Unless he gets too upset with me, then we'll move to somewhere else for now. I usually go across over so I don't get their nipples as easily. So they got big old nipples on them. I usually try to grab as high as I can too here. Good, buddy. I'm going to stay back with this side to do a little bit more. Let me at it. And just watch for his nipples on the sides here. Going down. And just go as far as I can. We're going to get some of this fur off the table. It's all still attached, but toss him in there. That way we can see where we're at with Mr. George here, who's in a bit of a bad condition. He's in bad shape today. I don't think I've seen him this fuzzy since the first time I did him. So, okay, George, let's get underneath here, buddy. So I'm gonna comb out the front of his mane first here to make sure he doesn't have any big. He doesn't really like me picking at the front here, but so it does have some fairly large mats in here. Let's see, buddy. Yeah, you're pretty matted down in there, aren't you? Can I have this one? George is the hider. So this guy's pretty thick here. I'm just going to try to see if my mat splitter will go under it. And I'm not confident with the area that it's in that it's going to. So I'm going to actually neck it out with the shaver. There we go. There's that one. It's hiding away on me. Okay, buddy, let me hold you for a sec. So I'm just going to go through his face here and comb his face right quick. And I usually use this comb before the bath to check for mats, also to remove a little bit that's shedding out. And then after the bath, I'll usually use a fine tooth comb on anything. So I've got quite a few mats going on this rough here, but so I'm going to shave the front of them here. I'm going to go pretty high with George because he's pretty matted today. so I'm gonna see if he'll stay up for me. I'm gonna get down around the front here. It's pretty tight. His whole chest is a big old mat, but he's a good boy, so let's get him in a sea hold here and try to get under. He's a busy boy. He's got too much mane for me to see what I'm doing here. Yeah. Say he my main man. Hey. Good boy, George. Good boy. So I should get right around the edge here. There's a little lip there that I always like to be really careful about because it's very thin. And I just kind of go down to get what I didn't get from holding him up. And then we're going to do the same. If he'll stand up for me, we're going to do the same with the other side here. And then if I need to move the line up further, I usually will too. I just kind of a preliminary first cut here. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Let's see, buddy. So I'm gonna take quite a bit more off of George because he's too matted today. He doesn't like me holding his face. So. Let's see, bud, if we can get around you here. Nope. Okay, bud. I'm just going to kind of put him in a little bit of a safe scruff here. Humane scruff, I call it sometimes. Just to try to get the front here without him getting too upset with me. Okay, buddy. Good. I'm going to get you up again here. Give him a second so I can get under him better here. Let's see if you'll... Okay. I'm just going to hold him this way, see if I can get this under here. You got me over here, Rob? Getting this? So this is all just stuff I like to get out. And then we'll recheck his mane. I know, buddy. I know. Let's see ya, bud. So he's not too bad. He's got quite the mane on him. He's also got a bit of a mat going in here that I want to just pluck out here. I know, buddy. You're not pleased with me today. So his mane's a little thick on this side. I'm going to take off a bit more to even up here. Even him out too after that. Just hold his skin here. Come on. It's okay, buddy. He's a little scared today. Okay, bud, let's see where we're at for your mane. How beautiful is my mane? There. Now, let's see. I'm going to even this up if he'll let me at it right quick here. Doesn't really like me holding his head. He's not a guy that puts up with his head being held, is he? That's okay. Good boy, George. Just going to fix up around his collarbones and the sides of his shoulders here. So next thing I'm going to do, once I get a cold blade again, I'm going to do his front legs. And, hi buddy. Good boy. Yeah, can I have that? I know you. I'm going to try to get under his legs, the side of his legs here. Throw these big old whiskers in the way here. There you go, good boy. And the same here. I'm just going to get on the sides here. And underneath. You what? Are you getting me? No? Okay, you need to get me. You gotta move if you can't see it. So I usually hold his arm out like this. And I scoop the sides here. And then I go down and around and tidy that up. George's got nice long whiskers, so I gotta watch his whiskers. I pull the inside here. The inside and the underneath, like that. And just try to even them up. Take him a little. And the same with underneath again. And that's about it for those. That's that one. Get this all off the table. Now I'm going to try to get the other ones. And Mr. George, you come this way, sweetheart. Mr. George the cat. And the same thing. So first I'm going to go this way. I like to go down. And then, if he lets me, get under here a bit. And George is going. Hey George, let me see. And the same thing, I kind of get these little right here and under here. Same this side. Kind of scoop whatever he'll let me here anyway. And then he can kind of sit there and I'll just kind of match this one up to the other side. And sometimes once they're perched too, I can pull this up and get the rest of this stuff that's looking uneven here for him. Just let me move this down. Okay. So after I do the pets, I should probably get this removed from him. Just 1 second here. I'm just going to get that big old guy. So after his underarms, I'll usually do down the back of his legs. He's pretty scared. Don't be shaking, baby. So, yeah, just right here. So he's got quite a few mats on him today. So I'm just going to go down his legs on each side. I usually get them like this. Not in a very good position to tidy him up here, but I'll put him in a better position after I get this off, because this is pretty matted here. I just usually hold him up underneath. Well, he'll let me anyway. Get most of this off the back here. And this is pretty matted, so pretty tight on him. Right, George? Okay. I just get what I can. And then the same thing, I go on this side. Just gonna turn the fan on here. Some air blowing. Whew, she's warm down here today. And the same thing here, I'm gonna get him up. And down his legs, if he'll let me. Josh, you're okay, buddy. Nope. He's not really letting me at him back here today, but tail's a tick in there, he's getting a bit mad. He's also scared too, so not really blame him. Okay, so now that he's getting a little feisty, not too feisty, but I'm gonna put an e-collar on him. This is usually my e-collar that I use. He's a decent size, just so he doesn't nick me, because I'm gonna start going underneath him and get underneath his back legs and stuff like that. And I don't put it like super tight on him, it's just on enough that he can't grab me. So first thing I do is I'm gonna try to get this leg first, if he'll let me. That's the key word here, if he'll let me. When he was coming in quite regularly, he was always really good for me, but it's been quite a while, so. Okay, bud. So first thing, I'm gonna get this leg off and then do some kicking. Hey, bud. I'm just gonna kind of try to get him calmed down a bit here. Nope. Let's see you, buddy. See if I can get underneath you without you kicking up too much. So he'll get comfortable here for me. There you go, buddy. Yeah. So nice and close, Rob. So I'm just gonna get underneath here. He's got there's a few spots that I have to, of course, be careful around with him. And he's got some real bad matting going off the back of his legs here. It's super bad. So his belly's a little tricky today for me. He's a good boy. So we're gonna give him a break for a sec because he's not impressed. So give him a break. Okay, buddy, let's get that back up again. Not letting me? Nope. Okay. It's alright, let's try the other side. So I'm gonna try the other side here, see if they'll let me at that. Good boy, good boy. There we go. So he's kind of laying on this side for me here, but George, we're being busy for your legs today and your belly, huh? Good boy. He's got so much fur, it's hard to see where you're going with him, but so I'm just gonna try to get his little belly here, his little pooch. I know, bud, got those mats off, so give him a second again. Okay. Let's see your little leg here, buddy. I'm gonna try to get this matting off the back of his leg here. It's pretty tight, so. There we go. And got it under here. So I just like to go down pretty far on him because where he gets matted under there. It's been a while. So that's one leggy underneath. Let me see if he'll let me do the rest of them under here. And then his tail. Hi, George. I know. It's okay, baby. So he's got a few little hangy pieces under here. He's going to get comfortable there. There. Good boy, George. I'm just going to do right down his little leg. And nope. Try to get him comfortable again to stay. Same thing, I'll get his little pooch as much as I can from this side usually, and very careful on this area here. So as you can see, he's got some pretty, so just around his little, do around his penis here as much as I can while I'm getting this spot here. His legs here. And then I'm going to try to extend his leg, if he'll let me. Yep. Not too bad. So he's got some matting on the back here that I'm going to try to get out for him because it's pretty tight. It's actually attached pretty good there. So that's good for that. And then I usually hold his leg like this, get down here, and don't far down on him because of, obviously, this stuff. So now I'm going to work on his tail because it's pretty bad too. So I'm going to put him in. I'm just going to leave a tip on his tail. I don't know if I'm supposed to be explaining what I'm doing, but I talk a lot anyway, so. Figured it'll help. Keep shaking, baby. Good boy. So I usually check to see where their end of their tail is, and then I usually go about an inch or two, depending on the level of matting in his tail, and what the owner wants, of course, too. Sometimes they don't want too much left on the tip. These guys are very picky. They pretty much let me do whatever with George here. Boy, eh, George? I'm going to just go down the side. I don't like to lift it too high until I'm getting closer to the bum because that's when I find I start to react. So. Now I'm going to just lift and tidy under here. He's on to me that I'm going near his bum in a minute, so. I usually just use my elbow as a bit of a brace there to kind of control him while I got the tail in my hand. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I find you gotta kind of be creative with your holds sometimes. Different ways work for different cats, so we gotta get a nice close-up on Zoom. You got Zoom on? Okay, so we're going to get around to, I'm just doing around his little bum here. So I usually go down just right before his bum, and then I shave outwards from it. And his anus there. That way we don't want to nick anything. So George is, he's neutered, so He doesn't have a whole bunch here. He looks like he does, but it's all just fluff. So I usually just shave around that a little bit. He doesn't like it too much. You can't blame him. So there, buddy. Okay. And then I usually go from the other side. So lift up for me. Get that little tip off there. There we go. So that's about it for around his genitals there. Still got quite a bit of a fluff on there. Actually, he might. I'm not even sure now if he's neutered or not. Doesn't. Looks like he's still got something going on there. So after I'm done that, I get all the fur off the table. Now's the time that I usually will do like another check, take off anything I need to, check his tail tip for mats, which is pretty good. He's looking to say see you later, Angela. I'm done. But I am going to bath him too, so that way I can demonstrate how I do that. All new in video. So I usually get them up to stand up kind of high. I do have to fix up his boots here. And he's got a chunk under his belly that I do have to get. I did not get. More so, I say his belly, but it's his chest really. So I'm just going to hold him like this to get this little spot here. He's not really having it with me, but that's okay. There. We'll get him up again here in this little hold here. Just double check his belly's all good. There's always one little. There's always one little tiny spot that I miss on their belly here, the little pouch here. It's not the easiest to get, but shaving around his little pooch. There we go, buddy. We got her. Okay, good boy, George. So we'll check his boots look good. Just double check around these guys here. Make sure it's all cleaned out for him. Tidy. Like that. Tidy these up a bit. And I tend to blow the hair as I go because it works better. Less hands. And I'm going to check this side here. And I just kind of hold him up around his chest while I'm doing this. So he looks good for that. I'm going to switch back to a cold blade. And he's going to hide. So I just try to get all the hair off the table so it doesn't stick back into him. And then I'm going to get him ready for the top. I do have to check his back legs again and go over his back to smooth it out. I also have to get these on the side because he's still got matting in them, which is not what we were hoping on, but so I'm going to do this leg a little bit lower. He's going to hide in the corner there. I'm try to get him to calm himself down here a little bit so I can get this. I'm going to take it lower like the other leg. No going, buddy. No going yet. I'm going to actually take him up like this to get it because he's a busy bum. He's saying, I want to be home napping, not getting my hair cut. So. I'm just going to take that out of there. Okay. So. Usually take a good look at them under here and check. He's not too shabby under there. Might need to tidy up a bit during the bath. Or I mean after the bath, sorry. He's still got some mats going on in here. I'll get out with the comb there. At least we're gonna try to. Say no way, Jose. Okay, beautiful face. I'm gonna fix his mane up too when I'm done here. Okay. So now I go through his paws right quick and his boots to get this. Just check them for any matting. And they're pretty good there. I'm gonna get this one out a little bit just to make some of this off. It's a bit too long compared to the other one. Throw that in the way. And his back ones, I have to do a good brush on them because they're pretty matty. I may as well do this side first. I did take it pretty low, but we'll see. So I usually brush the entire foot underneath. They don't usually like that, but I don't want to leave any mats on them, so. And the same with this side. You can tell there's just still some good chunks of mats in his foot here, so that's why I took him so low on his legs. I should check through with my comb too, and then we'll do a nice and gentle, yep. There we go, and that's sticking back to your tail. So go through his tail with this guy here. Get all that off. And now, let's see. Wish I could tidy his leg up here a bit. It's a bit of a mess. He's a beefy boy, so. There we go. So that's good for that side. We already tidied the other side. Underneath looks good. So when I'm all done underneath and I checked everything over, I will always go over his back again, or her, whoever I have, just to tidy up anything that needs to be, get a nice smooth cut. Same with after the bath too. Is a good time to do this because it miss any spots that were high or anything. I'm just going to go around to his bum here, not really his bum, but his back, and get these nice things, nice and slow. That way he's all tidy. Hey little buddy. And of course we can do that after the tub too. But okay. So now George is pretty much ready for the bath. I should get some of these mats out of my gloves here. I do have to fix his mane up a little bit, so I'm going to take his e-collar off for a sec. Give him a break. I'm going to check his mane now that he's all done. Check my lines here. So I'm going to go up a little higher on this side with his. I don't usually go this high on cats, but it's just where he had all that matting. So I'm just try to get some of that over there. Just a little bit to tidy it up with the other side, make it even. Okay. And then the front. Let's see. So his head's pretty nice there. Gosh, I'll go through that after the tubby anyway. So I'm going to calm down his mane here, if he'll stay with me for a minute. He's a busy bum. Let's see, George, am I going to go shorter on your mane? I think we're going to take it around a bit. So I'm just going to take his mane around a bit to meet up with the, so it has a bit of a nice point to it. That way they're not working. I'm going to deal with mats again in a couple of days. And George is pretty tolerant of me, so. Hey, buddy. What do you think? He says, I hate you, eh? You hate me. You hate me. So, I'm going to brush that if I can on this side. If he'll let me. Again, I'm just going to go down. Meet up with there. So I didn't get that side, so. And before he goes into the tub, I'm going to trim up his mane. So I just usually use my, sometimes I'll use my curves, sometimes I'll use my thinning shears, whatever I find works the best for him. And he's not too noise reactive, so. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick. He's a little busy right now, so. And not a huge tie, just a little one. I know, buddy. You're a busy bum today, aren't you? Can I get you over here for a 1 second. Let's see, I don't like the way his mane came out. Like that all. See, but let me go a little higher here. Good boy. Good boy, good boy. You don't like me holding them? Hey, bud. That's all right. We can fix that up after the top too. Okay, sweetie, let's get you over here for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna fuss with your mane while you say, Angela, give it up, eh? Let me see. Nope, you're not letting me out here, are you, bud? Okay, buddy, let me see. Sometimes if I go from the back, it works a little better. Other times it doesn't, so just to round his mane here a little bit. That works better for him. I'll try to do the same on this side. If he will allow me. If he will allow me. He not allow me, is he? Nope, he's saying, take off, Angela. Nope, okay, that's alright. I can sneak it from this side, the same as the other one. He's going. It's like, I'm leaving. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm leaving. Hey. Yeah, you're leaving. Okay, George. So now it's time for the bath. And I'm messing with his mane later. So for Mr. George's bath, I usually will hang up all my tools so they don't go anywhere. Then we can fix your mane up. Hey. All the hair off the table usually first, and I usually bath with an e-collar on just because the one time I didn't bath with an e-collar on I got bit, so it makes me a little nervous. I just feel a little safer with it too, and he's good with the e-collar, so that's fine for him. So I'm gonna put figure 8 harness on him. I just gotta grab, I'm gonna take him with me. I gotta grab a sip of tea because I'm talking too much here. Put my hand on him here. Okay, so figure 8 harness. Handle through the loop. Okay, yeah, handle through the loop. I'm not forgetting how to do it. So this one goes over the front of him. At his neck, almost. So I'm going to put this just right at his shoulders here. So I like to take, I'm left-handed, kind of left-handed, right-handed, so I take mine that way to do it. You put it under him. You loop back through. You hold this, I'm going to hold this one tight before we do the loop. So loop back through. My hands aren't working at the moment, so please ignore me. So this is right behind his elbows, underneath, so he's not going to be going nowhere. And the one in the front, that's pretty much tight enough, so I'm just going to tighten up a little tiny bit for the bath. And I loop this way. So I go under, through, up through, and there's my figure 8 harness. So that's all set for him. So now while I'm getting my tub ready, I'm gonna have Rob keep a hand on him on the table. Rob's my boyfriend, so I'm gonna get him, that way there's somebody with him and he's not left alone. Sometimes I'll put him back in the carrier while I'm doing this, but today we're just gonna do that. So before I get my water ready, I set up my towels. I always put one underneath to absorb, and then I take another big one. If I'm by myself, I usually put them in the carrier while I'm doing this, or over in one of my crates over there. That way I can get the tub ready and it's nice and warm for them. So I think George does pretty well in the tub, but it has been a while. So I usually take my gloves off for the tubby and leave them right here. So you're going to keep your hand on him, Robbo. So I think George is going to do a bit of a basin bath this time. You got a good hand on him? Sorry. I get some hot water on here. Not getting no hot. There we go. She's coming. So I use, I have pretty much arthritis in my hands, so I have a hard time with some of the tools. So I do use one of these. It's a Relax Grip one. I use it on shower, so it has a pretty gentle spray. I don't turn the water up too high while I'm doing it. So it's just like a regular, shower. It's just easier to control for me with my hands. So, and the products I'm going to be using on George today are, I'm going to use this guy. The Opaz degreasing shampoo. I might use a little bit of the degreasing cream on him as well. So that's what I'm going to use on him. After the bath, what was I going to say? I forgot now, but anyway. So I'm going to start his bath. Hey Georgie, let me see you, buddy. Okay, bud. Let's get you up. Oh, there we go. So I'm just gonna place George into the tub here. George likes to stand while I bath him, so he's going to get a good bath. I usually do the face, and after the tub, I don't like to do it in the tub. Pretty much get everywhere wet that I can for him. And then I'll work some stuff into it there. This bum and his little belly and everywhere. So George he's a pretty good boy. So I'm just going to get some of my degreasing shampoo while he tries to escape here. I usually start off at the top of them as I can get on the mane here. Work my way down. Add a little bit of water as I go. The shampoo. The Opaz stuff I find really good. I don't know what I was doing without it before, so I was using Focus on Felines for the last 2 years or so, and I found it pretty good, but this stuff is just so much better. So I'm gonna do his bum in a second here. I'm just gonna get some more shampoo. Well, I know you're not happy with me. I'm gonna scrub his belly. I'm just going to check, make sure he's not panting. He's not pleased with me, but he's not doing any panting, so that's good. Yeah, you can go down if you want. You can sit there. Get some more degreaser, and I'm going to do his tail here. I usually hold up the shoulder blades, so I didn't make my thing too tight on him, so. Clean around his little bum here. Usually don't like me too much for that, but get this nice tail on the end. Okay, get his feet. Get some more soap there, buddy, for your feet. I know you're trying to go. Let me see. I know it's horrible stuff. Horrible, horrible. I like to get their feet really good if they're decent for me. Okay. I'm going to try to get him down so I can do his front legs here. A bit of soap that's going on here. I know, buddy. Put your paws. He's just looking for an escape route, so. A bit more for his front paw here. Scrub. Good boy. Good boy. As we can here on the mane. Okay, so now I'm gonna give him a rinse because he's pretty soaked up everywhere and just not having much more when we pick it at him. I don't think either. So. make sure I get under their underarm too, make sure there's no soap left at all on them. Same with his belly. He's pretty much in the water, so. And at this point, I usually pull my plug, put my strainer in, that way he's not sitting in too much soap. And I'm going to e-collar off for 1 second. Just get the rest of the soap out of his mane here. We don't want any going on the table there. Get on the table. And so I'm going to put her right back on for him. He's not impressed with me, but he's a nice cat. You're a very tolerant boy, aren't you? Yeah. Get all that out of there. So I usually like to wait till my tub drains, but it's really slow. Get all his blobbles out, and then I'll give him one more good rinse. And that's it for him. If he was in full coat, I would do a lot more shampooing to him for sure. I usually do between 2 and 3 shampoos on them. So when they're long hair anyway, short hair is usually 2 shampoos. Lion cut, depending on the level of grease, one or 2, but he wasn't too greasy, so he's not a very greasy boy. Okay, I'll get Mr. up here. So now I'm going to let him stand up here for a second if he wants to. I'm going to check his belly here right quick. I'm feeling some shampoo on there just because he's got, let's get you over my arm a bit, buddy. There we go. Get his little belly. So now I just squeeze out all the shampoo. Not shampoo, water. Get that drain cleared. There we go, buddy. Tail too. So usually just squeeze. It's just a gentle squeeze to get all that extra water off him. Same with this one. Okay, there we go. So now I'll take a clean towel, usually for transporting him to the table. Okay, Mr. George, I know you want to go up, but we're going to go down. Grab him underneath here, up down to the table, and I usually place him right onto here. At this point, I'm going to take off his, I say I'm going to take it off, but now I don't know if it's stuck or not. This figurator, and this I'm going to try to take off right quick first, so he doesn't have that on while I'm trying to get him dry here. What a good boy he is. There we go. So that one's off, and we just throw that for now. And we're going to get him perched in his second burrito in here. I'm hoping he'll let me. He's kind of going backwards on me again, but so I usually just stick the little feet under them. Give them a little, no, he's not working with my perch. Of course he won't. I'm like, why would you, George? Hey. He says, I'm not going to make this easy on you, Angela. So this is how I usually burrito. Anyway, I take this side over when they're in a perch, but he's not having it. So take this side over, and then I take this side over. I make sure his tail's tucked in the side. And Bravo. Okay, I'm going to do this over because take 2 for burritoing. George is saying, what in the heck is going on with me? Here, bud, let's go get dried and warm. So I'm going to put him right here. Get his paws down. He's not liking that one bit. Okay. Nope, that's all right. Hey, bud. I'm just going to kind of give him a second here. Not sure why he's going backwards so much, but good boy, good boy. Cat burrito. Anyway, tail to the side, legs down, do a quick over with one side, and then this side I wrap around the front. Normally his tail would be in, but he's busy, and then it goes underneath to tuck. And I usually leave them burrito for a little while, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on whether they have a full coat of hair or not. Georgie says, no, be a burrito. He says, I don't want to be a burrito. Hey, yeah, that's okay. We'll try again in a few minutes once I get you dried. So I'm just going to work on drying George now. He's almost at his wit's end with me, so. Hey, bud. Yeah. So, for line cuts, I usually towel dry them in the front here. other sides because there's not much fur left to them. I'm gonna give his legs a good dry. I'm also gonna try to HV dry him too in a minute, but I'm not sure how George is gonna react today. He's a little upset with me already, so just dry underneath their little belly and all that good stuff. So this is, I guess, the mini lion style. So Mr. George is gonna go over here. Hey, sweetie. Yeah, we'll get little George over here. There we go. Let's take this off here for 1 second. I'll give him a minute to dry him better. There we go, bud. George just likes to hide. Hey, bud, come on out here. There we go. Okay. You can hide. You can hide. Yeah, we're just gonna get you dried up a bit. Dry your mane and everything. I know, sweetheart. I know. Not impressed with me today, are you? Okay. Dry this off. You want to hide, huh? Can we put you in there to hide? Okay. So, after the bath, I usually will try to blow dry. Doubtful he's going to put up with me blow drying him today. I'm going to give her a go anyway. I do have Happy Hoodie that I usually will use, especially on the little nervous ones. So, I usually throw that on the front here. Let me see, buddy. I'm going to take you over here with me for 1 second. I know you're hiding. Here we go. That's just so he doesn't, you know, hear the dryer so loud. There you go, baby. Okay. And he does like to hide, so I'm just going to turn this on. This dryer is kind of loud. It's a wall, but I don't really like the noise of it. So I usually just, I'm going to kind of hold him just in his cuff to see his reaction to the dryer today. He just wants to hide, so I'm just going to do a random like gentle here while he's hiding. He's under here. I'm going to let it come while he's hiding there so I can dry him out. Brushes I go. Too warm, but warm enough. So I can kind of get his other leg here. Use that as a hider for him if he wants to hide. So, hey George, yeah. I just brush as I go. George is gonna try to hide and go. You hide there, buddy. Right there. There you go. I'm just kind of brushing out his feet and his little. I didn't leave too many tufts on him because there's so many mats, but. Same thing, just to get his little foot here all dried up. Got some rolls going on. Lots of water in his feet here. So. We're back in position of hiding. Turn that off for a minute. I'm going to do his, dry his mane now. I'll take this off because I think he's going to do okay with the dryer on his mane. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush his face out here and his mane while I'm at it. Those neck rough, I say. So I usually just go through here. He does need his ears cleaned too. They're pretty dirty. So just to kind of do the sides of his face here, all along the side of his face, under his chin. Just do that to start, and then we're gonna dry them, and hopefully he's okay with that. So. Comb while I'm drying him here, just to make sure it's getting separated here. My dryer isn't on like super hot, it's on like a warm setting, the in between one, so it's not too hot on his skin. Anywhere, I'm gonna try to get him over here so I can. Probably gonna have to hold him in the face here to get this. This is not having it, see? Hey buddy, it's okay. We don't mind. Hey, we can get that. I'm just gonna try to dry as much as I can here on him because he's not really into let me dry him a little better. And we'll comb her out as we're going. Okay. Gonna keep going. Lots of parts here that I need to get done on him. As we go. He's got a little red spot there from the really bad gnat that was on him. Just get these front claws a little bit. They'll let me. That was my fault. Once again, left-handed, I hit all the buttons on them with all the dryers and the right-handed people. George doesn't want his paws dry, but that's alright. We'll get his little piece here. The same thing when we come out the top of him. So he's not so much going home and looking good. And then we're going to turn George again because he likes to hide. Thanks to George, you want to hide in there? Same thing for this side. He's got this rest of his mane, hopefully. Will let me. Here. Little paw. Yeah, look at his little paw. You keep his little face up there, eh? Smoothly. I'm just gonna pull it out as we go. I'm going to get ready to dry the underneath of him. He doesn't have much hair because he's an Hawaiian, but so for doing that, I'm going to actually pop his e-collar on again because I don't want him grabbing me while I'm holding him up here. He's a good boy, so yeah, so normally short hair cat, long hair cat, I'd be holding them up like this. I give their belly a nice comb out with usually this guy first because I find more gentle on their belly. And then just a little dry in the belly. Just like that. Get a little pinch and sides here. And it's also a good time to do these a bit more. Hold them up a bit. Okay. So now the thumbs are dry, the dog underneath. Tail's almost dry. time that I usually will do my finish work on him and see if there's anything that I missed. I'm just gonna get rid of these 2 towels first. So I noticed his tail, I did miss a little spot there. So I'm gonna tidy his tail up. I find the bath's good for making things like that really stick out so you can notice them afterwards and clean them up. So his tail looks pretty cute. I'm going to trim his tail end a little tiny bit, not a whole lot, just the very tips of it here. They like it a little short, not too much hair left on it. But. So that's his tail for today. Now I go through and I recomb all this stuff, especially if it's got a little bit of moisture left in it. This is just, yeah, that's all we do. Same with the front ones, give them one more comb. And I'm gonna get him out here and this side, that side. Okay, poor George, he's getting manhandled today. Same with these guys, he's still pretty wet on the underneath of those, but I think that's okay. So I'm gonna check any spots along his legs here. I see a few high spots that I'm gonna definitely tidy up. Lift up to get here. He'll let me again at him. Not sure if he's gonna let me at him or not here. Yeah, so there's just a few spots under here I didn't get before. I'm gonna get. You see, he's got a pretty nice little belly. Hey, bud. Yeah. Just gonna pull this up to tidy it right quick here. Move the hair away as I go here. Okay, buddy, let's check the other side. Okay. Same thing here. Just gonna check under here. He's got a little bit left on his pooch that I didn't get before. He's not having me lift him though. There you go, good boy. Good boy. And just right around his nipples here. Little spots there. Okay, oh, you're keeping my brush back there, are you, buddy? Hey. Yeah, I'll comb out this foot. So it's all done around his genitals here. They look good. His feet are still wet, but they look okay. There's no more matting. Tail looks good to me. His bum looks pretty good to me. Not too much left there, and he is actually still intact. He has not been neutered. I thought he was, but hey. So now I'm just gonna tidy up the rest of his. I usually like to go and do a final shave here to kind of get any high spots that I missed. Make it look a lot nicer. Just hold the skin as I go. Come on over here, Rebel. Just hold the skin as I go. Just get it nice down there. And just get any little fluffies that are hanging around on him. Same with this side there. Get those guys. So he's looking pretty good. Blow that off, and then I'm going to turn him and do the same. Hey, buddy. So I'm going to go over this side. And I'm not going to pick at that spot there because it's already tender from the mat, so. Excuse me. Okay. So he looks pretty good for me. He doesn't really have any high spots on that side. So I think we only have a few more things left to do to show him, and I would like to try to do a take 3 on the burrito if he'll let me. I don't know, but I might use his sister to do the burrito on. We'll just keep the thing running if she's willing to let me. So what we have to do now is we gotta take this off, and I'm gonna demonstrate a few things, and then we'll show him. So I'm just going to kind of pick him up. I just want to check him over real good here. If I didn't miss anything. So he looks really good underneath there. See, stop touching me. Okay, little buddy. Okay. So now just his mane. Check that out. So, usually go over their head first with the slicker. Brush every time, pretty much. I'm gonna check underneath here. His mane's still wet. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna let me add it a whole lot with the dryer, but looks pretty decent, I think. So I'm just gonna demonstrate if he was a short-haired cat now. So this is my Zoom groom. I'm gonna pretend he's a short-haired cat. He's shedding out. These guys get it pretty quick. So I usually will go along the length of him here. I usually start right here with the Zoom groom, and I go right along their back, and that gets out anything that's shedding out. And I go quite a lot, not hard with it, just kind of sweeping it all off. The Zoom groom right around his little rumpy. I do a lot of spots on them, so mainly the back. I find right here Matt gets a lot of coat that's shedding out. Then I'd also put a hand under and I'd go down his legs also. So all down his legs, and that would be a de-shedding sort of way on him. The other thing for the short-haired cats, I like this guy too. Will usually pull quite a bit out, or my shedding comb. My shedding comb's like my top thing that I use, and that would be just the same thing. Go right through the whole coat all the way down. Line comb, and it pulls out quite a lot of extra stuff that's shedding out. The other tool I'm going to demonstrate is kind of like a Furminator parting comb, and usually I'll do, so if he was a short hair, even with a long hair on their face, I like to use that, and it helps to definitely pull out all those little hairs that are going to start matting around the ears and the top of their head. So I'll kind of do around the back of their ears with it, and it gets quite a lot out. It's makes their face look pretty nice. He's saying no. So but I'm gonna do it on him anyway because I never did his face yet. So we're gonna also wash his face and wash his bum and all that good stuff in a few minutes. So that's my carding comb if he was a short hair cat or a long hair. I'm just gonna make sure I made a list of things that I had to do with him. So, let's see. So now I'm going to clean his eyes and his ears and all that good stuff. So if George had any, I get a lot of Persians in that'll have a lot of stuff around their eyes. So George doesn't have a whole lot, but I'd use this guy to get any crusts that were around the eyes. He's usually just a little closer up and just really fine. Really carefully go on the edge of their eye to this fur right here, and that gets out this stuff. And the same with the other one. I like to be very careful because their eyes are so, just gotta get right close to their eyes. So that's how I use that. Now for cleaning his ears, I use usually these guys here, Chocolate Clean fragrance-free hypoallergenic wipes, and I usually so I flip their ear back and I see what mess there is there. So he's got quite a lot of grease going on, and these ones are real good for getting the grease out of their ears. So I just kind of wrap it around my finger and I remove what I can see for the grease. I don't pour stuff down in their ears. I don't go digging down there. It's only where I can reach with my wipes and whatever other else stuff I use. So just get around there and all the little folds, and that looks nice and clean there. Not too bad for him. I think it feels a lot better too. Usually there's some grease on this edge right here, so that's his one ear there. So that got quite a bit out. And I'm gonna do his other one, and then we'll clean his eye. So this one's got quite a bit there. You can see it's darn sticky stuff, and I usually don't like to wipe it down into the hair because it'll stick more. So I think he's been picking at this ear. It's got some, it's got a little scratch to it there, it looks like, and I think he's itchy. Looks itchy to me. Yeah, he's got a little red mark in his ear. Hey, bud. So he actually has some hairs that grow down in his ears. They usually don't bother him too much besides, I think, tickling him. So that's that guy. I'll usually do another, just a little wipe to their ear tip here. Get all that in case there's grease building up on it. A little bit of a scrub, not too much, because I find their skin breaks down quickly if you're rubbing too much. So that's nice for his ears. Now for his eyes and all around, I do have, so this is, it's in a different bottle, but it's Focus on Felines face wash, and it's a leave-in face wash. I have a big jug of it over there, but I just fill up this little bottle. So I usually use that guy, and I usually use that on their face if I need to, that is. So also take one of these wipes. I like to use these just around his little eyes here to get this glue out if there's any left. And these are scent free, so they're good around the eyes. So just kind of hold them in a C-hold and clean around his little eyes. There we go. And that way there's no, I've got all that yucky off of there. No scent stuff in there, so. I know. We don't like it too much. Yeah, there we go. He doesn't really like getting his face cleaned up too much, but it is life of a baby cat. Hey, bud. He says, ah. I usually just work this through this fur up on top here, under his ears where the grease runs out sometimes. And then after I'm done, I will give it a good scrub out, or not scrub out, a brush out. And just all around. He's a good boy, so. Say nah. So they don't like that too much, Angela. Hey. Yeah, he says, what are you drying me for? I'm wetting me again. So that's all for that guy. And then we'll go through his head again with it and dry it. That all around his little face here. Get him looking pretty. There we go. He's part of the table now, apparently. Hey, little buddy. And that just kind of freshens him up for smelling a little better, eh, little handsome man? Could you pass me a towel, another towel, just a small one? Yeah, thank you. Helper. Anyway, so wash his face. I'm gonna dry it because I don't want to leave him wet, just around his eyes and stuff. And George says, stop torturing me, Angela. So now I think that's it for having to show you what and how, everything. I think that's all. I hope I'm not missing anything. The only thing left is to show him off, and hopefully we can get him a 360 video of him. I'm hoping. And then we'll do a double check on him just because. So his mane's still pretty wet. Hope I don't lose points for that, but he does not like the blow dryer, so I don't really want to scare him any more than he is. So I think it's usually my goal is not to give them too much stress. So he's pretty good looking, I think. I'm gonna just check around his rear here and make sure these are combed out good before we do a show off of them. Make sure everything's good here. So we don't want anything to be messed up here. So the tail. Okay, so this is George the cat. And George the cat is gonna need to stand up for me. So I gotta brush out this side a little bit better. So that's this side of him. He looks pretty good. This is his back side, tail down. This is his tail up. Looks pretty good. This side of him. Can't really do a 360 around video, but I can move him because he's tolerant of that. So that's this side of him. Gotta give his little things another little brush here, and front view is with head up. So he's pretty nice and clean there. He's got a little flat bobble there. So this is his mane. His mane looks pretty good, I think, for him anyway. It suits him. So this is with his mane, his head down, obviously. We'll get one on the top of him. That's old Georgie. And the last thing we had to do was get a hold up of underneath. This is George underneath. And George is pretty cleared off under there. He's got a little tiny bit that I'd like to make sure I get before he goes, but always a little bit on their little pooch that you missed there, so. That's it. That's all I wanted to get. Just a little bit on his pooch there, so. So this is George underneath. He looks pretty good. No nicks, no cuts. His nipples are all still there. He doesn't like me showing them off. So under his legs, that's under his legs. So that's pretty good. All around his genitals there is pretty decent. And that's George. Just gonna double check if there's anything else I was supposed to do. Let's see. We did his nails, pads, figure bath, shampoo, wrap, burrito drawing. Here's so yeah, so I think that's it for him. I'm gonna see if he'll let me do a little burrito on him just so we can have that done. And then I gotta move on to his sister because she's getting done today too. So let's see if we can get him in a quick little burrito. Hey buddy. Let's go in a burrito. He's pretty chilled here, so I'll get him to lay down and see. There we go. So this is a burrito, whichever you want to call it. I make sure his feet are tucked in. I call him Pete's. His tail is tucked in. I flip over this side, around like this, and then this side goes around under his neck, over, and underneath. And that's our burrito. So, and he probably hates me, but he was a good boy. So that's his burrito. And George is all done. Hey, George. I think he looks pretty good. So, I don't think there's anything I missed. Showed all the products, I think. So, yeah. So, that's it for today, I think. And hopefully it works. And just, yeah, message me if you need anything more. Thank you. Bye.